Every day, millions of sports enthusiasts turn on the TV or keep up with the news to stay informed about their favorite teams and athletes. Notably, female athletes have gained increasing attention in recent years, matching or even surpassing their male counterparts, as is the case in tennis. However, like male athletes, women are not immune to accidents or embarrassing situations. Throughout sports history, unexpected events have caught everyone's attention. That's exactly what we're here to explore today. During a Wimbledon tennis match in 2014, something unexpected happened, shocking both the crowd and viewers watching at home. The match was intense, with both doubles teams fiercely competing for the championship, when the famous tennis player Serena Williams ran to hit the ball, but ended up tripping on the edge of the court and falling into the audience's lap right next to her. Commentators were left speechless by this unprecedented situation. Watching the replay closely, we can see one of the audience members reaching out, prepared to catch her from a potential fall, as Serena realized she had no other choice. With her racket in hand, she trusted the stranger, letting gravity do its work as she fell into his lap. The World Athletics Championships, along with the Olympic Games, represent the highest level of international outdoor track and field competition, including marathon and racewalking events. In 2017, when this video was recorded in London, it was still known as the IAAF Championships, short for the International Association of Athletics Federations, now simply called World Athletics. In the 3,000-meter women's steeplechase, Beth Chapman made a huge mistake that cost her a spot on the podium. Unfortunately, Beatrice didn't realize she needed to cut inside the track as her competitors did by running through the water. She had to backtrack a good distance, only then passing the obstacle, losing precious seconds that ultimately cost her a higher placement in the competition. Figure skater Gabriella Papadakis was performing in the dance competition during the Winter Olympics when she experienced a very embarrassing moment. Everything was going smoothly initially, with her and her partner executing incredible moves to a catchy pop song, hoping to score well with the judges. However, during the dance routine, the unexpected happened when a costume malfunction caused a part of her dress to snag, leaving it looser than it should have been in the back, revealing more than intended. Here, of course, the images are censored as they are in any other video of Gabriella you can find online. After all, this was an accident, not intentional, so we shouldn't further expose this embarrassing moment for the athlete, who must have been mortified watching the footage of her own performance. During the Glasgow Commonwealth Games in 2014, before starting the 100-meter hurdles race, Australian sprinter Jeni was preparing with a warm-up that caught the crowd's attention. Apparently, she has a habit of warming up in a rather unique way, with a little dance that even earned a few sighs from the audience, mainly due to her athletic beauty. However, the cameraman caught an amusing moment when, after filming Michelle, he focused on her competitor, who seemed, well, not too thrilled with that dance. Pierre Beckles seemed surprised by the camera. She adjusted her expression, trying to hide her reaction, but we all saw her look of disapproval while the cameraman filmed Michelle dancing, her expression humorously contrasting with the joyful mood of her rival. At the 2016 Olympics held in Rio de Janeiro, Brazilian fans were thrilled to see Croatian athlete Sandra Perkovich take home the gold medal in the discus throw. But it wasn't all smooth sailing for Sandra. There was a rather scary moment, especially for a poor staff member on the field who nearly got hit by one of her throws. The sound operator, holding a large microphone, had to move out of the way when the disc came flying straight at him. Luckily, he managed to fulfill his role in the competition. The sound of the disc hitting the ground was very clear, despite nearly destroying the microphone. Sandra, realizing she had thrown a bit off course, was also surprised, especially when she saw the operator almost getting hit. Fortunately, no one was hurt during the throw, and despite this miscalculation, the competitor still took home the gold medal. Brandi Chastain, a soccer player representing the United States in 1999, scored a penalty goal in the World Cup final, leading her team to victory. However, her celebration ended up attracting perhaps even more attention than the kick that sealed her team's win. In a burst of excitement, Brandi tore off her uniform shirt, celebrating with her teammates as the stadium cheered the decisive goal. Her celebration was highly controversial at the time. Today, it's celebrated as a symbol of female empowerment, but she received harsh criticism for her unique reaction, even affecting her career. Some speculated it was a planned marketing strategy to sell sports bras. Unfortunately, Brandi was removed from the team due to the controversies, but the widespread media attention ended up boosting her career, opening new doors, including modeling opportunities shortly after. Jamaican sprinter Campbell Brown competed in the 200-meter race at the 2016 Olympics in Rio de Janeiro. This was a qualifying round, and Campbell managed to qualify, finishing in third place. However, an incident occurred that, if it hadn't happened, might have allowed her to secure a second or even first-place finish. Unfortunately, during a curve, Campbell got confused and stepped out of her lane, moving into the section designated for her competitor on the right. When it comes to a circular track, the farther from the center, the larger the perimeter. That's why the athletes don't start side by side but in staggered positions, compensating for the distance from the center so that everyone runs exactly the same distance. So if a sprinter steps into the lane to their left, they gain an unfair advantage and are disqualified. But if they step into the lane on their right, as long as they don't interfere with the athlete running there, they won't be penalized. In Campbell's case, she didn't suffer any penalty, except for the extra distance she had to cover due to her mistake. Considering the added distance, she might have placed higher if she'd stayed in her own lane. During the relay race at the Diamond League in Zurich, Swiss athlete Melissa Gutschmidt was in the final stretch, just meters from the finish line, competing for first place against Dutch sprinter Tasse Gia when she suffered a dramatic fall. Despite her small stature, Melissa was in the lead as Tasse drew dangerously close, taking large strides. A viral video with over 150 million views suggests that Tasse might have caused the fall, but from a different angle, the situation becomes clearer. There was no contact. Despite Melissa's impressive efforts, she lost her balance due to shifting her center of gravity too far forward, causing her to fall on her own. Due to the rather embarrassing fall, Switzerland ended up with the silver medal in this race. In the women's 100-meter final at the 2000 Sydney Olympics, Marion Jones won gold for the United States with an unbelievable 10.75 seconds. But nearly 10 years later, the truth came out when Marion admitted to cheating by using performance-enhancing drugs. After a lengthy controversy and her initial denials, in 2007, Marion tearfully admitted the deception publicly at a press conference.
And so it is with a great amount of shame that I stand before you and tell you that I have betrayed your trust.
This news completely altered the Sydney race's standings. Following Marion's confession and the subsequent stripping of her title, 2 years later in 2009, the International Olympic Committee chose not to award the gold medal to Greek runner Ekaterini Thanou, who had originally come in second, due to her refusal to undergo a drug test before the 2004 Athens Olympics. To this day, the official result does not include a gold medal. However, Jamaican sprinter Taina Lawrence, who had finished third, moved up to the second-place podium spot alongside Ekaterini, and her compatriot Merlene Ottey, who was fourth, received the bronze medal. In the 100-meter hurdles at the Diamond League in Brussels, Belgium, in 2011, Australian hurdler Sally Pearson experienced a tough time, performing far below expectations and even taking a massive tumble that left her extremely embarrassed. Sally was in lane 5 during the race. After the starting gun, she began well, leading the competition. However, after clearing 5 hurdles, she struggled with the 6th, catching her foot on it after passing over it. This severely threw off her concentration, and by the 7th jump, she had lost her lead after taking a hard fall. Extremely embarrassed by her mistake, Sally didn't even return to the race, which would have placed her last. Instead, reluctantly accepting defeat, she headed straight to the locker room, visibly frustrated by the situation. At the end of a tennis championship, Team Busey, made up of players Bethany Maddox-Sands and Lucy Safarova, became famous beyond the sports world, not for their victory, but for a rather unusual celebration. To understand what happened, we need to go back to a tournament in Melbourne, Australia, when the athletes decided to create an upbeat warm-up routine for their matches. Without much planning, the tennis players started dancing, trying to relax before the game. Little did they know that moment would change their careers forever. After the tournament, Busey received the trophy, but it ended up on the ground because a photographer asked them to repeat the dance. In an improvised, unrehearsed move, Lucy pushed her friend to perform, and the iconic moment was captured. What was meant to be a spontaneous celebration ended up being a bit embarrassing for Bethany and Lucy. Despite all the good humor and positive energy, some people didn't understand the dance, considering it unfit for the competitive tennis environment. Thankfully, the athletes weren't penalized for their conduct. The ceremonial first pitch is a baseball tradition, where a guest of honor throws a ball to mark the end of the pre-game festivities and the official start of the game. Originally, the guest would throw a ball from their seat in the stands to the home team's pitcher or catcher, but this changed when a U.S. president threw the first pitch on the field during a surprise appearance. Since then, numerous presidents, artists, and honored guests have participated in the tradition. This time, singer Carly Rae Jepsen, famous for her hit Call Me Maybe, had the opportunity to throw the pitch. Despite her efforts, Carly experienced a huge embarrassment due to her lack of athletic skill, delivering a rather pathetic pitch that didn't even go in the right direction. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this.